right, guys, we are back. Good evening, good morning, or good afternoon. As always, it is so great to see you. And friends, well, I'm out of my office right now playing with the new Weebill 2 gimbal and, of course, the Sony A1. I have it on loan for Adorama for about another week and a half, so getting as much time as I can underneath my belt with the camera. Both of these together, badass, a lot of fun. But I'm not here to talk about the Weebill and the Sony A1, not just yet. What I was thinking about as I'm walking around here is right here, this camera bag on my back right now. It reminded me of one of the questions. You see, Photography Talk, we're 12 years old, and there's a series of questions that come across quite often with regards to photographers. And you can put aside tripods, camera bags. Well, actually, we're going to be talking about camera bags. You guys have seen me do a lot of reviews on camera bags over the years. I've lost track of how many I've done. But one of the questions that comes up quite often is, Alex, you review a lot of camera bags. You must be keeping some of these. And I do. But that doesn't say anything about the ones that I don't keep, because camera bags are very personal, because it's based upon your shooting habits and what you look for in a camera bag. So the ones that I don't keep doesn't necessarily mean that they aren't good bags. It just means for my shooting style, they weren't a good fit for me. So, but still, I get a lot of these questions. I've decided to finally put a video together. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to break down the camera bags that I've kept over the years. And this is going back. My oldest camera bag that I have is about 10 years old. Actually, I think it's about 11 years old. And then I'm not really tied down to any particular bag. I'm going to share with you one bag that I no longer have, but it was in my pile of bags, and I used it religiously for about 4 years. It's an awesome bag. Love the bag. But there's one bag that came out that replaced it. And just says, you know, if another awesome bag comes out and it just has more features that really resonate with me and it fits my shooting style, and there's something that it does that the other one doesn't, then of course that bag will be replaced as well. All right, guys, well, I'm going to finish up out here in this field, and then we'll jump into the studio and I'll break down which camera bags I still have. I'll share with you a few things that I like about each of the bags that I have. But one thing, I want to repeat, these are bags that really resonate with my personal style. So a lot of the bags that I have done reviews on, that I've given good reviews on, hey, they are great bags, but they just aren't for me. So, and that is also to consider as well. You'll see which bags I have kept, but something to keep in mind, these bags fit my shooting habits, my gear that I carry around, and personally I find comfortable for my use. So one of the best things that I can advise to you, especially as hopefully all this COVID stuff is getting behind us, is get into a camera store or get into an expo, into a position where you can actually try on some of these camera bags and see which one really clicks best for you. Now, let's jump back in the studio. Okay, so now we are here in the studio, and to pick up where we left off out in the field, this is what I'm going to be doing here. I'm going to bring up one bag at a time. I'm going to share with you what I particularly like about each bag. I'll put some of the important specs on the screen as well, and let you know how I use each one of these bags. Now, something to keep in mind as you're looking at the bags that I use on a regular basis for my personal use, these bags, these fit my shooting habits, and each of these bags fits a specific purpose that I use these for. So your needs may be different, so just keep that in mind. What necessarily pushes my buttons might not necessarily be the best fit for you. So again, if you have the opportunity to get into a camera store or go to an expo where a lot of these companies have displays on. Now, I do know a couple of the bags I'm going to share with you here today are no longer manufactured, but you guys have asked which bags do I use on a regular basis. So I'm going to share with you all the bags that I use, two of which are about a decade old and they no longer are in production, or at least not that I'm aware of. So we're going to start, and incidentally, I have my notes here so I can have a quick reference on each one of these here. Now, the first bag on this is the Peter McKinnon. This is the Nomadic Peter McKinnon 35-liter backpack, and this thing is a beast. Now, this bag, full disclosure, this one is relatively new, not the newest to my the bags that I carry. But this one I swapped out, I think it was 2 years ago. And this took the place of the Peak Design travel backpack, which is an amazing backpack. But this one checked off more of the boxes for me. And so this one has been my primary bag now for the last 2 years. And what happened was when this one came out, that made the Peak Design travel backpack as my secondary bag. This thing I absolutely love. And so as I mentioned before, this is hands down one of the most comfortable backpacks. These straps are literally the best that I've ever tested. Now, my cameras, my R6 is right here, my R5 is right here. So they're not in here, so you're gonna have to imagine those being in here. Now, R5 usually goes here, R6 up here. The only thing this does not carry, or does not have the room to carry when I have both my cameras in there, is my drone. And so I have the 100-500 here, I have the 70-200 here, I have my filters up here. Usually I cram in all my mics up here, an extension along with my R6 over here, and some of the miscellaneous items up here. Now this is where this bag becomes magic. Well, first you have a computer sleeve right here. And then also up on the top here, this bag right here. So if I'm going on like at a day trip or I'm going someplace quick, you can actually, this will actually expand to 42 liters, and you can actually use this compartment up here to fit some clothes. As you can see, you're getting almost about a 3.5–4 inch lift up here, which is giving you extra space to put enough clothes for a quick day trip. So these guys really did a great job. Now this bag is $399. This is my primary bag. Okay, next bag, and this is the one that I had with me out in the field, and this is the one that we usually, this is the 25 liter Nomadic Peter McKinnon. This is their everyday bag, and this is a pre-production unit right here. This bag was technically is the one that pushed off the Peak Design travel backpack as being my secondary bag, because I usually head out with 2 bags. That one carries all my camera gear, and this one, as you can see, which my drone's not here, but my drone will usually pop into here, and I will usually have the smart controller on top of it, and the backup controller over here, and these will be filled up with other little odds and ends. So this backpack is their recent bag that they came out with, and this thing is really cool because you have all these little cells in here, and then the cool part with this, they have the system right here called the ladder. So you can actually pop this up, which then gives you more space up on the top for clothes or whatever, and then you can pop in one of these things right here, or push that little thing down right there, which just realized all my stuff at the top is now sliding down. All right, so that goes there. Pop that back into there. You can access items. You can access items right in here, as well as. And this thing's super comfortable as well. Is it as comfortable as their other one? No, but it is pretty darn comfortable. That top compartment that you saw there, you can also get access to that right here as well. The quality and craftsmanship that they put into the larger bag, they definitely applied it to this. This is a home run, and this one is a little bit lighter on the wallet as well. This one's $249. Now this camera bag right here, usually I just carry all my drone stuff and some of the mics and some lights. This bag is great for those days where I'm heading out and just not bringing as much gear, or I want a smaller footprint than the larger bag. And so again, they did a great job with that one. All right, next on the list is possibly the oldest bag that I have. And this is the Lowepro Photosport 200AW. This thing came out in 2011, I want to say. I absolutely love this bag. When I go on hikes, almost exclusively, this is the bag that I bring, and I'll share with you why. On this side right here, because usually when I go on hikes, I'm only bringing one camera body, and you have this small cell right here, and we'll use the Sony for this, so I can plop in, I can fit, oops, the camera's on. I can fit one body, and usually can fit one additional lens right here, so that works out really fantastic. And then here up on the top, so you have an additional, when you factor in this section right up all through here, you have about additional 13, a little bit over 13 liters of storage space that I could put a coat or additional items. There's a lot of storage up at the top for batteries, keys, whatnot. This bag I use for hiking because it's so lightweight. I like the color on it, and so it makes yourself very visible. And it's just one of those bags that, actually looking at it here, some of the colors faded a little bit because it's been out so much and I've had this bag for so long. This is an absolute champ. Now, I couldn't remember the price of this bag. I do know it's discontinued. It's no longer available. If you happen to know what the price is, put it in the comments below, or what this bag was. But Lowepro did a very good job on this thing. And again, it's a smaller bag, it's lightweight, and it is very comfortable as well. There's number 3. All right, and speaking of Lowepro, might as well get this one out of the way. So this is also from that same time era, right around 2011 is when I got this one right here. And this is a 10-liter Flipside Sport from Lowepro. And this one, I pretty much use this when I go cycling, and I'll share with you why. Not only is it a very sleek bag, as you can see, but let's see if we can get close. So the straps and also the back, you have these big airy holes, which makes ventilation just a breeze with this thing. Now this camera right here, or this bag right here, now keep in mind this is just a 10 liter, so you're not fitting a lot in this bag. But when I go out on my mountain bike, I don't need a lot with me, so I'll usually bring a camera body. So you can see I can fit a camera body. This is a 24-70 lens, and I can usually fit another another smaller lens up here, or usually I'll stick batteries or some other items up there. So this bag is crazy comfortable. Again, with this one, because it is discontinued, I can't recall the price of it, but you have some additional sides on the pockets or straps and stuff on the side where you can attach the tripods. And this is just a fun, lightweight bag. All right, moving on, we have this bag right here. Has got to be one of the larger surprises out of all the bags. And this is by Hex brand, and this is their Ranger sling. And I feel the need to share with you kind of a little bit behind the story with this bag. Now this is their new V2, and it's actually a new color, and they have this really cool kind of greenish camo color as well that I really particularly like. This bag, when this was sent to me, and being kind of a blunt instrument here, when it was inbound and I hadn't touched the bag yet, and knowing it was $100, I wasn't really holding my breath. This bag is $99 and change. And so I wasn't really holding my breath, and I wasn't really expecting much. Under $100, come on. When it came through, guys, I have to admit, this bag is one of the biggest surprises, and it ended up being one of those bags that has stuck with me. I've been using from their version 1s to now this is their version 2. It has been the last 2 or 3 years or so. This is a bag that I'm going to use as a everyday bag. If I'm heading out on a just walking the streets and so forth, this is perfect because I can fit my camera body in here. Often cases I will, oh, the drone is in the other bag there. If I'm heading out with my drone, this is a bag that I'm going to take with me. But when we're taking like a city tour or walking around the city and so forth, this is the bag I'm going to take. Here's why. Camera fits in here perfect. I could put a iPad or an iPad mini in here, and it has this really soft lining on here. One of the things I like most about this bag for me is when I have this slung around me, it just wraps, it feels like it wraps right around you. And that is better. Now prior to this, I was using this bag, and I still use it. We're gonna get to this one here in a minute, but this was my go-to kind of day bag heading out. But the difference between this and this is a little bit more rigid in the sense of it doesn't really feel like it wraps around you as well as this one. This bag really hit it out of the park. This one hits way out of its class. And then on the front here, you have, excuse me, right here, you have all sorts of additional pockets on here. Now, I fit a 70 to 200 lens in the front of this, believe it or not. This bag is one of those bags that really surprises you. And then on the bottom, I can carry my Peak Design tripod on here. It actually fits really perfect. So this bag right here is a sleeper. This is like a Volkswagen Bug with like a Subaru twin turbo motor. You just don't see this thing coming. So this is one of those big surprises. All right, we were just talking about Peak Design. Well, might as well bring this one up. So, of course, this is a sling that I just shared with you. The Hex brand one kind of took this one's place, but I love this bag so much that I keep it. I don't use it as much, but I'm still going to share this with you anyways, because this is such an extraordinary bag. The thing that this thing does that this one doesn't do, and I should have mentioned this, this one you can fit a full iPad in. You can fit a full iPad in the back of this thing. Now the irony to that is because now I switched over to a 12.9, and actually while we have that here, let's see if this is going to fit in there. Oh, you know what? Will it? I'm actually surprised. So super cool. It fits in there. This is the new iPad 12.9. So I didn't expect that to fit in there. That's actually pretty cool. This one, you can fit multiple bodies and additional lens. You obviously have a lot more room with this. So this one, I could head out with a lens, a camera body, and still have room to fit my drone in. And in this case, still fit a 12.9. I actually may dust this one off and start using this one again. But this is a very well-made bag. Peak Design does what a lot of companies just simply don't do in terms of innovation. There's always little secrets and little things that you find out about these bags that you might not have known. This bag is $149, and I don't need to say Peak Design just does it really well. Okay, the last bag I'm going to share with you is the f-stop Tilopa, and this is a beast. And again, is this a bag I use a lot? No, not at all. This is a 50-liter bag, and this is one of those that is just when I'm going really hardcore off-grid. I'm going to be throwing things around, or you might getting snags and so forth. This one, I absolutely love this bag. And so this has, you have these cubes that you can put inside, and they come in different sizes, and they simply just slide in there. And then depending upon the size of the cube that you're going to use, you'll have additional space up on top for personal items like clothes, jackets, clothes, or whatnot. But this is a great bag. So again, as I shared earlier, it's not one that I use, especially since the Nomadic bags come out, and they're pretty durable. I use those almost all the time. But if I'm really going to a place where I'm going to be in the sticks and just a lot of dirt, or when I headed out to Norway last time to shoot the Northern Lights, I used this bag, and this is really comfortable, because this one right here, as you can see, it's a little bit larger than some of the other bags, and this has the waistband on here. I have to say the waistband on this bag is a little bit more comfortable than the others. And to access all your gear, this has a access point right on the back. If I can get to this here. And this part is usually folded back in there. Boom. Okay. And there you go. And that's how you access the gear in here. So again, these are the bags, guys, that I have kept. You've been asking which bags I kept, and as I promised, I tried to keep this video as short as possible, not boring you with all the details and specs. These are the bags that I use, the ones that I've kept over the years and that fit my shooting habits and needs and what I want out of camera bags. Your needs may be different. If you're interested in any of these bags, I'm gonna put links in the description below, but again, I'm gonna encourage you to get into, before you go buying these bags, get into a store, try them out. Go to an expo, try them out. Make sure that these are the right bags for you first. And if you decide to pick these bags up, leave a comment below. Let me know your feelings on each one of these. All right, with that said, it's that time of the video where I'm gonna ask you to do all that YouTube stuff that is oh so helpful to the channel. So if you found some value, if I helped you find a camera bag, do me a favor, hit that like button down below. If you're currently not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And while you're at it, hit that bell so that you're notified each time that we come out with a new video. Friends, I'm gonna clean up all these camera bags in my office, and I'm gonna get out of here so you get out there, stay healthy, and create your best shot.